Welcome back, everybody, to St. Clair Saints League of Legends action. St. Clair taking the first victory here in the final game of the regular series, looking to make it 2 and to put their record up to 6-1 here in the NECC.
Looking to be well on their way. I mean, they seem to stamp, their dominance pretty quickly in that first game. So, looking forward to see how Purdue's going to respond. Is it going to be more of the same?
Ban
Are we
Yumi.
going to see Zach bans? Are we going to see Galio bans? This like PTSD, like
Yeah.
or are we going to see something more based around who we know really stands out? Those Yumis, the Graves, the Yone, which was a great ban on the side of Purdue before. So, because it's a lot of it's about comp.
Yeah. I really think they need to just ban Yumi. Because if you look at the side selection, Purdue elected to go back to red side, which is very interesting because I feel like Yumi is just such a strong pick. So unless you are banning Yumi in this rotation, you're kind of giving up another game of the Yumi, and I really don't think you can afford to do that. So I think Purdue looking for probably a Graves ban, Yumi ban, and then maybe a Viego ban or something. But we saw Viego come through there, and the Vi was picked over it. So I definitely think St. Clair has a decent bit to fall back on, but we are going to see the Victor ban again, so not letting that mid laner come through. Very interesting, and I mean, I want to see the Yumi ban here from Purdue.
I'd like to see Ehug's Vi again. I mean, seems to be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
punch your way through your problems. But with Purdue having first pick, we hopefully will see a Yumi at the top of that screen.
Yeah, so Purdue has one more ban left. I expect to be used on Yumi, and I mean, the Yon ban came through. We aren't going to see, maybe we do see a Vi ban and a Yumi pickup, but again, I really don't think it's going to be that effective for Purdue just because if he doesn't get Vi, Ehug's going to go for Viego. And I think he's just as effective on both of these champions. So I expect this to be a Yumi ban. St. Clair, I expect to be a Vi first pick and then some kind of better answer for the jungler because in that game, I felt like Volibear was just getting outclassed from minute one. Obviously, having a death in that first minute doesn't really help for your rotation, but I definitely think a lot of the situations he was just getting outclassed. And we are going to get the Yumi lock. Yeah, so again, Yumi coming through the draft here. I
don't know what to say.
I just don't understand why you're letting this Yumi through because the only other solution, right, is you're talking about before the game. Lucian Nami is the only thing that can actually compete with the Yumi just because it's so strong in lane. If your Yumi goes to roam with the jungler, your ADC is basically just dead. And you can easily win that 2v1 and roll the lane. So that really is your only answer. But the problem is Purdue banned Lucian, so you can't answer back with something nearly as good as Yumi. So we are going to get the gen lock in. I'm expecting a Leona or a Nautilus as well here. So a hard engaged bot lane. That is another solution you can try and get for Yumi is getting a hard engaged bot lane because if you land a Leona E or a Nautilus Q, you can hard engage on the ADC, and it's really hard for them to actually get out of that. But the problem is, you left Ezreal up, and Ezreal Yumi is super safe. They don't have to force anything in bot lane, and I really just feel like right now, Purdue is outclassing themselves. They're going to pick out the Sona. I just really feel like they're struggling in this draft right now, and they're not getting the power picks they need to.
Yeah, I mean, it just I feel like the Saints could even just go with a very similar comp that they did last game. I mean, we have the Yumi pick. Oh, we have a Jinx coming through here. I mean, outside of Graves, we could see the Vi again. We could see the Cassio again. We could see a very similar strategy. It doesn't feel like Purdue is banning based on current experiences. It's more like maybe cemented ideas that existed before this set.
Yeah, and the Jinx pick is going to come through. Very interesting choice there for Barlow.
I know why.
Don't think.
Arcane.
Oh no, Ehug, please,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I wanted. I wanted Yumi Heck.
Oh,
I asked.
This is
and I received.
This is gonna get ugly. So we got the hack room locked in. I mean, it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be ugly. So hack room locked in for Ehug here. The crazy speedsters that we saw in that last series are now going to be on our side, and I just really, really feel bad for Purdue right now because this Jin Sona is going to get one shot by this Hecarim Yumi later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, my the content of my commentary is going to be laughter and screaming every time Hecarim and Yumi ganks a lane at Mach speed. Like, I'm just going to start giggling like a maniac.
It's going to be ridiculous.
I love it. I mean, that's what you get though. If you're not purposeful with your bans, if you don't learn from the meta from your own mistakes, what else do you expect is going to happen? I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. obviously, we're talking about human beings that are piloting champs. They're all skilled players. You can definitely do something. You can definitely, like, people make mistakes. It's possible to overcome bad matchups for strong characters, but it didn't seem like they really recognized the threat of Yumi last game, and we saw what happened, and now they have them again. So,
And I mean, to be fair, I do think in the last game Yumi wasn't as effective as she may have been in the last series. I think the Graves totally took over the top lane. We saw he was like 4K ahead of the Irelia by the end of that game. And I think Vi was definitely way more present in a lot of these ganks, especially early on. But regardless, I think the Yumi is just such a safe pick, and it's so good for enabling your jungler. And you have a Hecarim now on the table for E-Hug. And if you thought he was fast on Vi before, he's going to be faster now. So I just really think a mistake here in draft for Purdue, and we are going to get 4 mid lane bans actually in the second phase. Again, we are going to see the Galio ban again. I just don't think Purdue doing their homework on that one, because the only game we saw from St. Clair on a Galio was actually the sub mid laner. So
I haven't seen a Galio in a long time.
yeah, he's not exactly the best mid laner, but I think a Galio Hecarim combo is actually very strong. So a decent ban overall, but again, I just really think right now draft definitely favoring St. Clair.
Can you talk to me about this this bot lane matchup? What can Jinx and Yumi do against a Jhin and Sona?
Oh my goodness.
Is this disrespect?
We're gonna get the Yasuo Malphite insta lock in here, and I feel so bad
So, is
for
this the
this
ult
Jhin
combo?
Sona because there is no you either getting one shot by Hecarim Yumi
Or
ganks,
you're getting one shot by
or
Malphite,
you're getting one shot by
Yasuo.
Malphite Yasuo combo. So that bot lane is gonna be so exposed. You just don't really have a defense for
Look
it,
at
and
the
I
tanks,
mean.
too.
Yeah, the only solution, it's the Tom Kench pick. And I was going to say, the problem right now, I just really think, looking at Purdue, I mean, I think there's a lot of problems with Purdue, with their draft specifically. I think looking at their team comp is really good team fighting, but the problem is you have this Malphite Yasuo combo, right? And I mean, that is one of the most well-known combos across league.
Right.
You press the R button on Malphite, you press the R button on Yasuo,
Wipe a
and
team.
you wipe a team. But the solution to actually counter that is by drafting a split pushing top laner like Camille, or even Irelia works pretty well into the Malphite. Bully him early, and then get your jungler to gank you, and then get ahead that way.
Right.
And then once you have that Malphite in a side lane, the problem is if you're against, or even a Fiora, if you're against like a Fiora or a Camille, and you're the Yasuo, you can't split push against that because you're going to lose, right? Purdue drafted Tom Kench. So Tom Kench isn't really going to be a massive threat to the Malphite in the top lane. And that means looking forward, there's not really a good threat for later on in the game for them to try split pushing. And Yasuo is going to be able to beat either the Orianna or the Tom Kench in side lane. So I just really think St. Clair outclassing them completely in the draft, and I really expect the game to go their way.
So interesting how, so much can happen before even feet touch the ground. Something I really, really like about this Saints draft in particular is how balanced it is. I like, that we have that Malphite for like the nice tanky engage. We have the Heck for, incredible ganks with the Yumi. I mean, like, that's like obviously one of the best pairings in the game. And then we have Jinx. We have a nice scaling, ADC that if all else fails, we can just count on you to shoot people. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems like Purdue's is a little hobbled together. Again, players can outplay each other regardless of champs, so there's obviously like room there. But I'm not that hopeful for this one. The fact that I was laughing in champ select, that just like speaks volumes for my opinion. Yumi Heck and Malphite. Yeah, I've never seen that on a single comp before.
It's so scary to play against, right? Because the problem is looking across the comp from Purdue, right? You have Tom Kench, Lee Sin,
who's strong, by the way. Tom Kench is very strong.
Tom Kench is very strong, and Lee Sin is very strong jungler. But the problem is you haven't really drafted an identity for your team, right? Because in a team fight, Tom Kench, Lee Sin aren't super useful. Jhin, Sona obviously going to be very powerful. They have the long range engage and CC tools, have the Orianna bubble. But the problem is, right, you don't have a good team fighting tools for the rest of the team. You look at something like St. Clair, they have the Malphite Yasuo combo, you have the Jinx for that long range poke and for team fights, and then you have the Yumi for the healing on top of it all. You have the Hecarim Yumi for the picks, and at split pushing late game, Jinx is going to be super strong. You can throw her in the mid lane, and you have Yasuo on the side lane that really going to be uncontested. So I think St. Clair just drafting a lot better, and I mean, we said before, I said in that first game against McMaster, I definitely think McMaster had a better draft, but St. Clair just executed theirs better. Purdue, I'm just looking across and I don't really see some kind of identity. Maybe try and get the Leeson ahead early and bully the Malphite and then try and push the lead early. But overall, I just really don't see the identity from Purdue, and that's why I think they're going to struggle in this game.
Yeah, something that's gonna, I think, maybe bite them in the behind is, Leeson, a great early pick, great in the early mid game, but tends to fall off in the late game. We don't have that kind of issue on the Saints side. So again, comes back to matchup. I mean, the only scaling champs they really have are like, with Jin and Oriana, I guess, that you can really count on in those later phases. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they cross the hurdle of, two of the most iconic, some people will say broken duos in League, as far as Heck and Yumi are concerned. Because once 6 hits, it's gonna be a different game. It's not even. It's not gonna be League of Yumi anymore. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we'll find out.
It's gonna be crazy. And I mean, I think looking forward at this game, you have to push this Malphite top lane into basically out of the like get him out of the game, make him useless, so that when team fights come around, his ult isn't as effective, and maybe they're not one shotting you. That's really your only way of trying to mitigate a lot of what St. Clair is going to want to do, because if Malphite goes down early in these team fights, they don't really have a lot of front line outside of it, because Hecarim is going to be building most likely kind of a bruisery, more of a damage. Right. So if you can take him out early, that's a lot of their front line gone, and their team fight, while isn't super strong for Purdue, could definitely do damage. You have the Orion ult, you have the Jin and the Sona for long range, so you can still do damage. But again, it is very situational, and I think it is very hard to actually execute this team comp correctly.
Yeah, I think like the margin for error on the side of Saints, like you have so much room to work with. Like I feel like you can make a ton of mistakes, it'll still work out in your favor. Regarding the the how you beat a strong comp like this, I think makes a lot of sense. Malphite not known for his strong early game, a lot of mana problems. If you shut him down early, those times where he does try to team fight and dive, he'll be the first to go. And then, but one thing though is, I know you said Heck has that bruiser build, that's what's in the meta right now, but we have Yumi, a situation where Heck may die. That's not the case when Yumi's attached. You're just gonna be you may be the tank yourself. You're kind of everything at that point, right?
You could see him. Yeah, you could even go for an assassin build too. You see him go for the Yumus into the Sunder.
Is that a thing? Yeah,
that could definitely be something. And I mean,
it's a little cancer.
We've seen Iha go on in every other champion, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see him going on this Hecarim either. And with the Yumu's extra speed, which gives you extra damage, Yumi on top of it, is going to be a menace for the Sona Jin to deal with, because I feel like he's going to have a really tendency to go towards his bot lane early on and try and gank it a lot more, because he's going to be providing so much damage, and they don't really have any good CC to stop the Hecarim charging in, right? All you can really rely on is a speed up, and maybe if Sona has an ult, you could throw out the ult, but I mean, other than that, you don't have any hard CC to stop this Hecarim from engaging on top of you.
It's very tough. So Sona doesn't have any kind of stuns, roots, nothing to prevent a pick from happening.
Other than the ult, not really. You have a speed up on your E to try and get away, but your speed up is not really anything compared to what Hecarim has.
And Jin also, he's immobile. I mean, he's strong, but he's immobile. At least with the Xayah pick, they had that ult to counter and engage. Yeah. But, we're talking about the best engaged jungle support duo in the game versus a pretty much helpless bot lane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's very tough. And if the last game is any indication about, how Vision was going, it wasn't always, a very clean strategy they had. They let the Baron go uncontested. Yeah. I feel like opening them, the Saints will find some gaps in their positioning and maybe try to sneak in, some really easy kills there. So,
yeah, I think definitely Vision game was very, very much St. Clair favorite. And I think that gave them a lot of opportunity. 4 picks, 4 ganks, and it meant their objective awareness was very good. They did give up 2 dragons early.
I was going to ask about that.
But they traded for a herald, right? And when you're so far ahead for your graves, you are very, very happy to say, okay, it is Ocean Dragon, it is Infernal Dragon, which means it's either going to be a Mountain Soul or a Cloud Soul. So just because you're giving up a dragon doesn't mean you're giving up an objective for nothing. You took the herald, they got top turret, they took the herald again, they got mid turret, and it ended up getting them so much gold that their dragons didn't really matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it even matter that they lost the first and second dragons? It looked like they gave them up on purpose for that trade, and then it worked out in the end. 2 rifts is gonna help you barrel down that lane and smashing everything in your path. they were even able to do weird dive plays and still come out on top because the macro awareness was so high.
And realistically, the thing is, without Soul, Ocean Drags and Infernal Drags aren't really worth that much. It's +4 AP and AD for an Infernal, and you get 2.5% missing health every 5 seconds, which is okay. But if you look at overall, what you're getting with Herald is you got top turret with your Herald, so that's automatically like a couple thousand gold, and you're getting mid turret with your other Herald. So
an item, basically.
Yeah, it's basically an item worth, and meanwhile the other team's getting a couple of stats, it's not really worth that much, right? So it's all about trading and how you want to take what you want to take and saying, okay, right now we're leading early game. Our objective is to win the early game to convert it into the win mid game, and that's what they did with the Herald, and that's why they played around it so much and why they're willing to give up those dragons.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, aligning with their strategy. And even we saw the effects of all the decision making in late game when Graves was just super strong. He split push bot lane later, uncontested, and not much that Purdue could do. But here we go into the game, starting with the laning phase.
Yeah, both top laners actually helping out their junglers with these camps. You usually see a Hecarim and Lee Sin actually soloing their camps.
Oof.
But this is a lot of poke down onto this Jhin early. Fresh going to take an auto there, going to keep walking forward. We'll take the Q to the face, but we'll be able to just sit inside Barlow and heal up for a while. That Jhin down pretty low, and both forced to use pots there. So he did go for the boots and 4 pot strategy with the extra potions on top of it. So he will be able to heal up pretty effectively. He won't be too worried about all this early poke he's taking. But again, it's just St. Clair showing how effective this unit can be.
That's such an annoying situation to deal with, like you step up to make a trade, you focus all your efforts on the Yuumi and nothing on the ADC, and then she just attaches to the ADC and all of that's gone. And look, they've secured an advantage here. Again, pushing up, look at this poke. Forcing them back behind the turret.
Good dodge there. Root gonna come down as well. 4th shot gonna hit Fresh here, but Fresh again just gonna retreat inside of Jinx and we'll be okay here. And I mean, top lane for me, Tahm Kench is going to poke out this Malphite pretty effectively early on. Malphite not going to have a lot of ability. Looking for those jungle ganks to come through, but both junglers on the bot half of it right now. Lee Sin looking for an early gank here. Root not going to land though, so will be forced to back off. He's going to walk into the tri-bush. Hecarim right now doing his red. We'll see if he looks for a gank or if he's just going to go no. He's going to opt to go right for his Gromps here. So Lee Sin going to check the red buff. Gonna realize that there's nothing there and we'll just walk top. So no jungle interaction there. They were pretty close to each other, but in the end they won't be fighting. So a lot less action in the early game this time around.
Yeah, interesting situation here. You have the Lee Sin maybe trying to sneak up on the Yas here. Nothing going. I think that as far as the Saints are concerned, you want a slow game. You want something that's kind of evenly paced because once your abilities are unlocked, once your ult is on the table, for Yas, for Malphite, those are huge advantages. Game's gonna change. It looks like something's happening here in the top lane. Maybe Lee vying for something in the river there.
He picked up the scuttle. Both junglers gonna get their scuttles and they're gonna retreat back. Hecarim actually gonna steal away the wolves here from the side of Purdue. So getting himself a small advantage here on this reset. Will be wanting to do that as soon as he takes these wolves, because bot lane is shoved pretty well in right now and top lane shoved pretty well in on the other side. So not too much early jungle action. Reset going to be taken here by Ehud. Going to buy up his boots there as well as a Sheen actually. So that's a lot of damage. And I'm expecting him to go top, maybe look for a gank early on towards this Tahm Kench.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, we're seeing those weaknesses of Malphite early game kind of coming through. He's getting pushed under his turret, but what that does is open up the Tahm Kench really easily for a gank from Heck. So we're already seeing him here on the top side kind of pathing his way up there. So hopefully you can see an early kill there.
Yeah, a lot of poke being put down here actually by this Jinx Yuumi. I was expecting the Jhin Sona to put a lot more pressure on the side of St. Clair, but it seems like they've been able to just put so much down onto Jhin here. Jhin started with 4 pots as well as a Sona with 2, and they both have none now, and you see Jinx still with 2 pots, and that's the advantage of Yuumi, right, is you get that passive healing, and you don't have to burn your pots early. You can wait until you take those trades, and that's when you start burning your pots. So we see here now so much poke damage laid down on the bot lane. They are getting forced back here sometime very soon. And St. Clair already opening up with us an advantage here in the bot lane.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, the top lane, I feel like this is just going to be, 2 walls smacking each other. No one's going to die. No risk here. We see where the Heck's at. Tahm Kench can kind of just push to his liking. So what's more interesting is the bot matchup. Like, the amount of poke going down, like you were saying, the pots being used early. Like, it's just such a bully lane. Yuumi is such a problem. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and right now, Hecarim at 44 farm, Lee Sin at 24. He's been able to steal away multiple camps here. It's going to be engaged as well. Both junglers do have half items, so it could be even. Smite going to come down to heal him up there. Smite going to be changed as well. Not quite sure who ended up getting that. No, it actually reset. But Yuumi going to be here, so they will end up claiming this Gromp with no contest. Lee Sin forced to back off it, and this jungle gap is widening even more. Just such a huge advantage here early on. And Eog just always seems to do this. These junglers he faces, he somehow always gets ahead of them in farm and experience, and just seems to be able to take over their jungle within the first like 5 to 6 minutes of this game. Wow. That's a bad place. First blood going to be going down here for Zephyros on that Yasuo, and that is going to be the power. I didn't even think about the power of that knock-up with Yasuo is going to be so effective.
I mean, I love the awareness. Like, you couldn't have said it better. Seems to always know where to be at these right times across the map. Oh, little fight looking. I think he's going to be okay. Yeah, Malphite kind of limps away from that exchange. No problems. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just an experience thing. It must be because, Ehug intuitively just knows where to be, how to be as annoying as possible, how to take what you want. Even that early skirmish with the Lee Sin where he smited that Gromp to stay alive. Was a great decision. So.
Yeah. Gank comes through here. Not going to net you much, though. Going to keep the flash, but, ooh, FaZe actually stuck under his turret here. Level up's going to come through. Going to go for the engage. Not going to catch him, though. He's going to take a lot of damage from turret here. Shield going to come up. He's going to take a last turret shot. FaZe. No mana, though. Can't go for this. Doesn't have the ult either, so we'll opt to just back off. There's 2 pots here for this Tahm Kench, but that's going to be a quick flash. Ult going to come through as well. Fear going to force him back, and that's going to be a kill here. Q going to come through, and FaZe going to claim that one. A little bit of help from his jungler.
That was really good. I like that he gave the kill to FaZe there. That's going to really help him in lane because he's been pushed under his turret the whole game. Set up the.
What do you think he goes, AP or tank?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I feel like these. I wouldn't call the picks trolly, but like they're trying to have a little bit of fun. So I could see an AP. Maybe that's why he gave him the kill. That would make sense. Yeah. It's possible.
We'll see. He's gonna go for the buy. He's going tank.
He's got Cinder.
I was ready for the AP.
I don't like this. And I mean,
the thing is, realistically, it would have been a possibility this game too, right? Just because they don't have any AP damage other than the Yuumi. So if you get later on in the game, you start building up armor on this Tahm Kench on Lee Sin. They're going to be pretty hard to take down unless you have an AP threat. So I think that could have been a play, but they're just going to go for the safe route. They're going to put Malphite on tank duty. And, I mean, it'll still be fun watching them combine, but not going to be nearly as much burst damage as you would have expected.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, like Heck, Yas, Jinx, talking about all 80 champs in terms of damage, right? So it would have been cool to see that. But, this is a league game. I think they do want to maybe play it a bit safer, all things considered. But look at this Mal. Already that kill, look at the damage he's putting out.
Trey going to come down here in the bot lane. No ults available for either bot lane just yet. Heal going to come through very early, but Lee Sin's going to be here for the gank.
Oh, no.
Trying to finish this down. Barlow is in a bad spot. Kick going to be available. That's going to be a flash kick for Maniac here, and that's going to be a nice route. Going to mean Fresh going to go down as well. So Teemo 4109 going to claim that one. And looks like Purdue striking back here in the bot lane.
Yeah, it's as much as we want to see. I want to see this really good comp. It's kind of smack Purdue around. I also love a really close game, and seeing them pick up 2 kills like that is great. Because like the goal difference is not as bad now. Oh, we see. I think they're going for drag right now. Looks like gonna get it uncontested.
Yeah, looks like he didn't go for the steal there. But in the top lane, Tahm Kench just kind of slapping FaZe around here. Despite the fact that FaZe did get that kill, Tahm Kench up 20 farm right now and forcing a back and a missed wave from the Malphite. Malphite actually going to TP up there, but I mean, it does mean the TP is invested very much later than the TP from the top laners. Meanwhile, there's going to be a jungle gank here, all going to come through, fleeing all the way back below that bush, and that's going to be Barlow picking up the kill on Maniac, and again, Hecarim, Yuumi, deadly combination.
Unreal. Just dove right through the wall, was like, hey, you like horses? I don't care. You're going to die anyway. so good. It actually didn't look that bad before this. I mean, there was a 1k gold difference, but bot was doing great. It was not until that gank right there, or that engage on Lee Sin, that now I think they're going to start pulling away with, that, especially Jinx getting a kill. You don't want that. You don't want your late game carry to get a
nice flash, but not going to be able to dodge that ult, but that's going to be a nice ult coming through from Orianna. In the end, no kills going over, but a really good flash error by Orianna to get underneath the turret. means LaPlace will save their life and be able to stay alive. But I mean, right now, Lee Sin, he's waiting. But the problem is, you see the level difference? Oh, Smite going to come through. But, I mean, E-Hug is level 9 and is up 45 farm on Lee Sin right now. Like, you can't contest anything against this jungler.
Yeah, we talked about how Lee Sin he's not meant for the late game. He's supposed to be winning at these phases of the game. So the fact that you're behind now and Heck is so far ahead is just not going to, and now going for the Rift here, you know, going to kind of widen his lead. It's just not looking really good for Purdue again. So let's see if they can dig themselves out of this one.
Yeah, E-Hug, again, just finding himself this big lead in the jungle, able to steal away camps right underneath the jungler's noses. And it feels like he knows these other junglers better than he knows himself. Like, he knows where their pathing is going to be. He knows when to gank properly, when to avoid them to get those camps, and he knows where they're going to be. Q going to land on a Sona here. W going to land as well, but they're not going to go for the engage. So a little bit of poke damage being put down there will be healed up by the Sona, and that is the advantage of the spot lanes. But, ooh, a nice gank here. Kick going to come through as well. Barlow not going to hit by that one, but will be abandoned by the Yuumi. Jinx will go down, and another kill over to this Jhin. So they're putting pressure on the spot lane, and again, Jinx going down and paying the price for it.
Yeah, really good sneaky gank there by the Lee Sin, and now, you know, getting that free Gromp invading. We'll see. Hex coming in though.
Oh,
Revenge!
Predator!
Revenge!
No, that's gonna be yaddy going down. One shot there.
Oh, not like this.
Be taken down. All's gonna come, or Flash gonna come through, but all gonna be followed up, and that's gonna be another kill over to St. Clair. So one kill on the Jinx. They pay for it with both the bot laners' lives.
This is like the Grim Reaper with 4 legs. Like,
yes.
You get a kill on my ADC. How dare you? I'm gonna run you down and your friend through the wall. Nothing you can do. Sorry.
Flash, I will follow you. You
So
can't
good.
escape me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's really good. It's really, you know, cheap in a way. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, the rumblings that I've heard, but it's also kind of funny to watch. You know, it's
entertaining.
It is entertaining. I can't lie.
It's entertaining when it's not happening to you. When
Yes,
it happens
that
to
is
you,
correct.
that's when you're like, this is the worst game mechanic I've ever seen. This needs to be removed immediately. But in the
boy.
meanwhile, plates being taken here on bot lane. Herald going to come down as well, and that means bot turret going down just 12 minutes into this game. That's going to be Teemo taking so much damage. Fresh will get the last laugh and take out that Jhin, and just as soon as he hit that 2-kill mark, he finds the 2-death one as well. And I mean, St. Clair, so much pressure being put down early on this bot lane, and Hackerim just decides, okay, you know what? It's time that you stop bullying my bot lane, and I'm going to start bullying yours.
Right.
Turn the tides, and now already has a bot lane turret down and halfway done that second one as well.
You know, trying to trade here with you know, pushing top super hard, dropping the Rift. You know, good call. Bot is a lost cause at this point. You saw you couldn't even breathe without Hex permission. Oh, you're breathing in my airspace. I'm just gonna run at you, and like that was the quickest kill we've seen so far. And the gap's only widening. Jhin is just like, what do I do? Where can I go? Where is safe for me?
There's nowhere safe for you. That's the answer to that question.
That
And
is the answer.
St. Clair up 4k gold now. A lot of that is going to be on this jungler. 121 farm to 60, doubling the farm, almost doubling the CS, doubling the kills and assists. And I mean, for me, E-Hug has just looked incredible throughout the season, and he's just showing why he's one of the best junglers in the league, if not the best. He's a 5-1 record. The only team they lost to is a perfect 6-0. And he's just been outclassing every other jungler. And I mean, not having Ricky in the top lane definitely affects how he plays, right? Because you don't have these super aggressive bruisers that Ricky usually plays. You don't have the set coming through. You don't have the Aatrox, the Jax. Like, you don't have these crazy bruisers that he can take early objectives with, that he can force into the river, that he can fight with. You have kind of these more reserved champions that FaZe plays. You see, like, Malphite, one of the worst early games in all of League of Legends. So he has to kind of adapt himself to play around that, and you see he's done it so well playing with whatever FaZe is thrown at him. We saw a Cassio game, we saw a Kennen game, we see a Malphite game, and just a lot of unique picks that E-Hug has somehow managed to turn into great looking ones by the way he plays the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the real story of the day is E-Hug's contributions and how he's taken this game and the last game and honestly all the games that we've seen and kind of made them more dynamic. You know, a lot of these matchups in the bot and mid, they wouldn't be skewed as much as they are if it wasn't for these incredible ganks, this incredible map awareness, these incredible invades. So and here they are. You know, the Cloud Dragon going down to Yasuo and another dive by Heck. There's nothing you can do.
No.
You know, what are you gonna do?
No, there's no way to get out of that. You use Orianna used everything in her kit, and it's still not enough to keep herself alive. So it's just, it's so hard to play against this, right? And it's such a huge deal because when you force the other jungler behind, it means that their ganks aren't going to be nearly as effective, right? They're under-leveled. They're without jungle camps. They don't have any money because Ricky's stealing away all their camps. So when they come to gank you, it's not nearly as scary as this Hecarim coming to gank you. So that's why it makes it so much easier to play. And it's so much less to think about as a laner, because you have the feeling of, okay, my jungler is smashing their jungler in terms of farm, in terms of lane presence, and I don't have to worry about a gank coming through because he's too worried about trying to defend his camps and soak up whatever XP he can from the ones that Ricky leaves him. Doesn't have time to think about ganking.
Yeah, and if you go down to the lane, you know, the threat of the Heck Yuumi is like you feel like you can't even farm safely. You take a few steps out of your tower, even if you're under your turret. You know, he's coming for you. I think, interesting situation going on here.
The engage going to come through, and that's going to be FaZe being all dead. Zephrod out of nowhere going to claim that kill, and somehow FaZe lives. I don't even know where he came from. I have no clue, but it was
does he have a teleport like that we don't know about?
Just in time to save his top laner, and I mean, that definitely was one of those tight ones where he was down to like 50 HP.
Yeah.
Threw out the ult. As soon as that ult hit, instant ult from Zephrod to follow up, and they ended up saving their top laner. And again, another one of these games I really feel like just a team comp diff, but really an e-hug diff for me.
Yeah, I mean, team comp diff though, I kind of like that. Oh my, he's just jumped on him. He said, "Get off my camp. That's mine, sir."
That is such a tanky gore drinker Lee Sin, and he looks like he's just getting one shot.
Feather, yeah.
He's getting one shot. He looks like he has no HP, and like level 12 on E-Hug here, just a level 9 from Maniac. Like this, he's so far ahead right now. He has 2 items. Like he is light years ahead. He has more farm than the mid laner does. It's ridiculous.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, you know, one thing that I can't stop thinking about is just, we talk about the team comp, but one thing that stands out a lot to me is like how much utility it brings and how much mobility it brings. Like you can be anywhere with Heck, and then your team fighting is so good. And yeah, like in response to that, Purdue's comp just looks a little lopsided, like you said earlier in the game. It's just, it doesn't seem very, like, you know, thoughtfully put together. Maybe more of a comfort fix.
Oh, big flash. Ult gonna come through as well. Ult gonna come through to follow up. That's going to be a stun coming down. That's going to be Hecarim actually being taken down here. Shutdown for the Lee Sin. And Zephrod going to walk too far forward. Going to get the ult down. He will. That's going to be a Malphite out to follow up. A triple kill for Zephrod here. Looking for a 4th onto the Orianna. A knockup not going to hit. They might go for a turret dive down. They're going to opt to back off for the moment. Oh, Q lands though. Zephrod wants this. He wants the Quadra. Going to look for it. Going to try for the knockup. Not going to be able to make it. Barlow going to clean it up anyway. Zephrod trying to get back here. A big shield from Yuumi, as well as a shield bow. Can he live? Heal going to come through as well. Yeah, he will stay alive. So in the end, a triple kill for the mid laner from St. Clair. And really, I mean, a shutdown for the Lee Sin, but it cost them everything.
Literally everything. Yeah, it cost them the turret. Cost them, what, three champs? That's not a good place to be. I did not envy that Orianna trying to, you know, walk between death and death. There's nothing you could do.
And I mean, this is a Yuumi that doesn't even have Lich Bane. Imagine if she had Lich Bane. She has anti-heal instead of the Lich Bane. Imagine if she had
the damage.
She would have been done there. And
Seriously.
10 stacks on the Dark Seal. Not a chance that this Orianna is walking away from that Yuumi Q. And I mean, realistically, 9k up now for St. Clair, closing on that 10k mark very, very soon. I really think this game is pretty much over. Infernal Drain coming up in 1 minute. There's not really a contest from Purdue right now. You look across the board, 1 item for most of the members here. And St. Clair,
here we
2
go.
items. Oh, this is going to be a big gank here on the UDU trying to run away. Sona going to be able to escape for the moment. Going to invest the ult though. Eog going to find the Sona in the back. TP going to come through for Tom Kench. There's 3 members here for Purdue, but they're not going to be able to stop this. FaZe going to ult down. That's going to be a combo that you want to see. Zephrod finding 1. Finding 2, looking for a 3rd. Lee Sin going to kick him back right where he came from, so we'll pick up the double in the end. But again, the power of this Malphite Yasuo is impressive.
That dive, I mean, Heck got rooted, and it's like, my movement speed cares not for your root. Like, I'm just going to come at you anyway. It doesn't, and there's nothing you can do. Just an absolute masterclass. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad right now. I mean, every single team fight 2v2, 3v3, any engage that they've had together, the Saints have come out on top, and that's reflected very, very readily in the gold difference. We have 10K gold difference right here. They're going for the drag. And look at the closest one out. I'm foreseeing a Baron in the near future.
Look at Yasuo is 5K gold up on this Orianna right now. It is a ridiculously big gold gap in the mid lane there. He's going to close in on 3 items very, very soon. And that Malphite presses R on you, and he presses ultimate. Like, that last breath is going to instantly take you down.
Yeah.
You're not even getting the chance to walk out of there.
Something I want to talk about, too, is, and I mentioned earlier, is that Fresh's Yuumi, you know, we're not seeing that liability pop up again. We're not seeing, you know, we talked about the roams and the value of them, but the fact that he's just not dying as much, I mean, and it happens to the best of us, right? But the fact he's not dying is contributing positively to this. You know, there's just less holes in the game plan, and then we're seeing the strength of these very strong champs come out, you know, piloted by Ehug. It's just a very tough situation to be in. Look, the most that they can do is just watch him take this Baron and, you know, with binoculars. Because what are you gonna do?
Maniac has a chance to steal this though. This is definitely possible. If he can get a ward down, but no, he's actually gonna get denied. They're gonna go right in on him. That's gonna be an ult by 2 members here. Fresh gonna take one down. Sona gonna go instantly down. Somehow Lee Sin actually lived through that though, so he's trying to try for the Q onto the Baron, but it is gonna be healed up. The reset will come through, and that's gonna be it. Maniac trying to run away, but you can't run away from this horse. He will chain you up and take you down. Actually going to take the blast plant, and he's still going to get chased down here. They're not even go for this Baron. Ehug just wants this kill. He wants to put Maniac in the dirt. Q going to come through as well, and that's going to be the Lee Sin trying to run away, but he will be taken down by minions. That's not the way you want to go. That's going to be Baron going over as well, and St. Clair have all the tools they need to wrap up this game number 2 and put themselves to a 6-1 record.
My jaw hit the floor, you know. The Purdue is watching them take this Baron with binoculars, and from being at a distance, all of a sudden the Malphite's in their face, through the wall with the ult, whole entire team collapsing. It's like no barrier will keep us from stomping you into the ground.
I can't believe Lee Sin lived there. He had like, Yasuo was at 3 items, he just pressed the ultimate, and he somehow lived. So I mean, he's tanky enough to have a little bit of survivability, but
yeah,
really, I just don't think anyone can contest this Yasuo right now in a side lane. There's just no way. With a 3-item Yasuo, you can try and contest it with a 1-item Tahm Kench, 1-item Orianna with just the Seekers. Like, you are just going to be taken out in half a second. He walks through that wave, you're just done.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a game where Yasuo is 9-0 and the Yasuo, you know, like this is a...
Usually it's an 0-9 Yasuo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, he interrupts the W there, and he's going to get another kill, going up to 10-0. Zephrot just smashing on this Yasuo pick, and it was the Malphite Yasuo that was that last lock-in. And this combo is proving deadly for St. Clair. 20-4, the kills up 11K gold now. All going to come through. Flash Gale Force going to save the Jhin for the moment. Zephrot going to go in on Lee Sin here. Anyway, Kick going to come through. He will stay alive here for the moment. Will they go for him? Yes, he 100%. Will be hunted down here. Ehug going to go for the knock-up, and that's going to be Barlow getting the kill credit. But in the end, St. Clair just going to have a few tidy ends, a few last ends to clean up. And it's going to be pretty much it here in game number 2.
Yeah, we're just taking up the broom right now, just sweeping up the remainder. That Lee Sin has kind of been locked out of the game effectively for 23 minutes, and you know, evidence of that was shown. Just how, you know, Heck towered over him. Looking to wrap up the game here. You know, first tower goes down, second one's going down.
Yeah, it's gonna be. He's gonna bring someone up and put him back. Minion gonna go back, but Sheeny actually gonna pick up phase here. Was able to bring it back to the fountain, but that's not gonna matter. St. Clair gonna claim the game and go up to 2-0 in the series and go up 6-1. In the final season score. So, St. Clair take a 2-0 resounding victory, and I mean, we were expecting it even from the draft. We said St. Clair's draft way better than what Purdue had, and I mean, 2-0 was our prediction. It was pretty obvious, and St. Clair going to be very happy with the NECC season, just dropping 1 game the whole time.
Yeah, super impressive by them. I call that a strong performance. You know, obviously you're always going for the gold, but to only lose 1, you know, to finish your last match in such a strong fashion, I think that's, you know, what more can you really ask for? You know, congratulations on them and their achievement. And it was a joy to watch. It was a joy to watch Hecarim gallop across the rip. It was a joy.
It was fun.
You know, Malphite up through walls and Yas kind of clean up. So I think we may have maybe speaking to one of the players.
Yeah, we have an interview in just a second with Barlow, I believe. Barlow. So talk about his season so far. And I mean, really, I think the Yumi came through both games. I think that was really the big difference. I was very surprised to see it in that second one after it had been let through in that first round. And I'm expecting that to be very prevalent throughout a lot of the playoffs as well. Yumi has just been such a strong pick in the last couple of patches and very, very easy to pilot. So interesting to see how that's going to be moving forward and seeing how much priority teams put on that, because right now it should be pick bannable in every single game.
Yeah, I think they really learned a lot from games that they've had against other schools. Not having the Yumi pick on their side before, I think maybe they learned their lesson. Now that's their priority, and it showed. Every time they had the opportunity, they picked it, and hopefully Purdue's learned their lesson now.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't
and I
bet
mean,
against the house.
They will be out of the playoffs, and so we have Barlow joining us today. How you doing?
I'm good. What about you guys?
Doing
great. Pretty good. So just move over here, make some room for him.
We were just talking about Yumi Gaming, and you guys had a really strong showing in the league. 6-1. You guys should be super proud of yourselves. Congratulations on that achievement. And awesome to see you guys kind of flex a little bit. You had like a really strong comp in that second game. How did you guys feel going into it?
For me personally, it's a little boring, because at around the map when he follows E-Hug around. But I'm pretty sure for the guys it's a lot of fun, yeah.
That's got to be fun for him too. And I mean, looking back on this season, we were talking about you guys playing against McMaster a couple days ago, and we saw in that game number 3 how effective the Yumi was, especially paired with the Hecarim. So, was this something that you guys had talked about after the game and said, okay, this pick is 100% pick bannable, first round, we want to take it? And I mean, you got it both times, but looking forward in the playoffs is something that you guys are gonna play around most likely.
Yeah, I think last in NECC this Tuesday was a mistake to leave it open. Honestly, we talked about it a lot this week. It's really strong, and I don't think any team has found a good counter for it yet. So yeah, it was a mistake last time we left it open, and I think we won't leave it open at all in playoffs. So we'll pick it every time it's open.
Yeah, for sure. And for you specifically, looking back on this season, you guys are done with CLOL, and with NACE, you do just have the NECC left. And I mean, talk to us about how you felt, how the season went with your teammates and with your coach, and how you think, looking at this last playoff run, how you kind of look back on the season and reflect on how it's gone for you guys.
Of course, we're a little disappointed to not make it further, although we did beat some pretty good teams over the course of the season in both leagues and in tournaments we done. So yeah, looking back, I think I'm pretty satisfied. I wish we went a bit further, maybe not leave the Yumi open last time and we'd still be in NEC. But other than that, I'm pretty confident for NECC, honestly. I think we're improving every week, and even right now we're playing with a sub, with Fez, who's performing really well, and we're really grateful for that. But yeah, I think we can perform like that without even Ricky, which is arguably one of our best players usually. So yeah, I'm pretty confident for when he comes back, and I think we can win the NECC.
Yeah, for sure. And for you and Fresh in the bot lane, right? You guys, I think we've seen you guys throughout the season. Your chemistry has grown a lot more, how you guys play together. How do you feel, one-on-one with each other? And do you feel like looking forward in the playoffs, this chemistry is just going to keep building and you guys are going to go for a further run here in the NECC?
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I think everyone could see that me and Fresh, we didn't have the best synergy at first. It took us a lot of time to adapt to each other, but we also roomed together at the residence, so that does help for the synergy. We've been talking a lot, even when we're not playing, we're not scrimming. We just talk about the game to make sure we're on the same page. And I think it's starting to show a lot more. Like these 2 games, he's not with me, he's with David. I hope it's not because he doesn't like me, but
I think it's just the Yumi. I think that's you gotta take it.
But I think even when we play strong bot lanes that need to 2v2, we're a lot better in that sense. Like our communication's getting better too. So yeah. I think our synergy is getting better for sure.
And one last question. We were talking, there's a couple things you said earlier in the season. You look a lot better on the aggressive ADCs as opposed to the scaling ADCs. So I think looking forward into the playoffs, we were talking about like Lucian, Nami still being very strong pairing. Is there anything else that you're thinking maybe you want to play looking into the postseason that would kind of complement how you and Fresh play and your play style is?
Yeah, Lucian has been banned a lot against us because I think it's probably my best ADC and we can pick it early in the draft. Other than that, it's also I play mostly when I play defensive ADC is because we pick ADC super early usually, so I don't get to counter pick. So I don't want to pick something too aggressive and get shut down and not be able to provide for the team because I know I have good players that I can trust that can carry the game. But yeah, if Lucian is open, for sure I'll do that. There's also Zyra Khan, which is a pretty good lane that we've been practicing. that I want to pull out at some point. If we get the chance, for sure, I think I'll do that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I think that is going to be it. Thank you for joining us, and good luck in the NECC. Come next week, we'll be cheering you guys on. It should be very exciting. We can't wait for it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. So that is going to be it for this week. St. Clair goes to 6-1 in the NECC with a resounding record. And I mean, looking back on the season so far, I definitely think St. Clair has been super effective. And I mean, yes, they have faltered in playoffs, but both times it was 2-1s. It wasn't like they were getting 2-0 swept off the board immediately. And I think for me, definitely so far, Barlow has looked a lot better, and a lot of St. Clair's look a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I really like what he said at the end about, having practiced the Zaya Rakan duo. We were talked a lot about, those fresh enchanter picks. So I'd like to see something like that, a little bit different to mix things up, because that might be it might be the difference they need to push a bit further than they have so far in the other leagues.
Yeah, and I like Rakan for fresh too, just because it provides the healing and the shielding for an enchanter, but it also gives you the W and the ultimate for the engage button that you need. Because I feel like, depending on Ricky's status, right, we haven't really seen a lot of hard engage stuff. We did see the Malphite here in this game, but I think it was more just we went for the Astral Malphite. We haven't really seen a great amount of engaged stuff. I feel like he has been more of a facilitator of fights in the top lane for phase. So I think Fresh with a chance to go for that engage is going to be a chance for him to shine and show a better side of himself than we've seen so far, because I feel like the Leona and the Nautilus have kind of been a struggle for him.
Yeah, maybe they don't suit his playstyle so much. Regardless of what you want to play as a competitive player, I feel like it's really important to be balanced. You need to have picks that cover a variety of situations. So yeah, Rakan kind of does a good job of, I think, yeah, like you said, meshing with what he wants to do gameplay wise, while still being different enough from like a traditional enchanter. So
yeah, for sure. So that is going to be it, though. We are going to thank our sponsors before we leave. We want to thank our newest sponsor, Crunchyroll, for sponsoring us this year, and you can get a 14-day premium trial for free at crunchyroll.com/saints. It's Crunchyroll, essentially the Netflix of anime, as we've lovingly called it so far in this season. Thank you, Jackson, very much for that. And so you can get a 14-day premium trial for free at crunchyroll.com/saints. We also want to thank Tim Hortons, Subway, the SCC, as well as the SRC. So shout out to all these guys for sponsoring us, and you got to tell the people we got the merch too.
Oh yeah. Come pick up our merch. We got the Saints Clair merch newly launched. Look at these beautiful black colors and these beautiful green and gold.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, you can pick it up at acquire.ca/Saints. Make sure to rep the brand, rep the team. You can see they're doing great. Strong team, and we're really looking forward to seeing them, push further on.
Yeah, so that's going to be at acquire.ca/Saints. And for our upcoming schedule, this is going to be the big week for St. Clair. We are going to have our next broadcast is going to be on Sunday, 11 a.m. We're going to have Rocket League, and then we are going to have 12 as Call of Duty, right? So we are going to have several games, and throughout the week, we're going to have a lot of NECC playoff action, so you're not going to want to miss it. Both our Rocket League and Call of Duty teams, we expect to go very, very deep into their playoff runs, so you're not going to want to miss these actions. We're going to have them either here and possibly here, as well as Saints Gaming CA2. So you can go check out that channel, go follow it if you don't, because you aren't going to want to miss this action. But that is going to be it for today. St. Clair Saints go 2-0, and they end the season for NECC at 6-1. So any last words before we leave?
It was an absolute pleasure to host with you, to cast the game. It was a joy to watch them play and do so well. Again, I'm looking really forward to seeing the Saints push further, both in league and in other games. Hope to do this again with you real soon.
Me too. It'd be awesome. So, John, Bill Bangs, Udima, Bernard, Rainix, Maffey. I got it right the first time. Yeah, I got it right the first time. I don't know why I didn't hear it the second time. That's going to be it for the stream. Thank you all for joining us. Stay safe and love each other, and have a good weekend.
Take care,
and we'll
guys.
see you here on Sunday at 11 o'clock. Kill, so really well played. Knew exactly where the range of that turret was. And another kill over for this jungler. Volleybear going to have to run. Has the double up to heal up a little bit. But Zephrot looking for him. Does have the ultimate available for the slow. Going to go for the E. Going to go for another one. That's going to be another kill. But Volleybear. So elsewhere across the map, it's actually pretty even. So the one thing is, if you're able to shut down this fire, you're able to shut down this Graves. Graves does not want to be shut down, though. That's going to be an ult. Put down onto this Corki. We'll have the shield available. Flash can come through. Oh, he's going to get the shutdown on E-Hug, though. That's a massive shutdown for the Corki. Never mind. Fresh's Q is going to take out that Rakan. And just as I said, they didn't have enough damage. It is enough. That's going to be Exhaust coming down onto the Irelia here. Vi going to come for the engage as well. They're going to take down this turret, maybe go for a chase here in just a second. But like I was saying, I was not expecting that Rakan to die there, but it's going to be quite a while before they can actually get soul points. So I think for Purdue,
he's going for it.
Engaged. This is crazy.
You're
Stun going to come
nuts.
through. Charm going to come through as well. And that's going to be Fresh being taken down, and that is a huge mistake there.
Why?
From Fresh, and just a little bit.
Or you just kind of want to flex.
Trying to ego on him, but this is going to be an ult here in the top lane invested. Yeah, that's going to be Irelia being taken down here in just a second. Maniac trying to do whatever he can, but he can't really do that much. Cork's actually come through as well, but not going to hit Eok here. Ult going to come down as well. He's going to be taken down. Yuumi trying to do some damage, but he's going to be taken down as well. So again, Vi defending us, and it's all 3 outer turrets down here. And inhibitors going down on top lane and bot lane sometime soon. They will collapse on this mid. And there needs to be a fight here sometime soon, and that's going to be it. The engagement will come down onto Barlow. We'll actually catch him here, but he's going to E out for a second. Ult going to come through 4 members. That's going to be a double kill for Ezreal. That's going to be the game. That quick.
Already that kill, look at the damage he's putting out.
Trey going to come down here in the bot lane. No ults available for either bot lane just yet. Heal going to come through very early, but Lee Sin's going to be here for the gank.
Oh no.
Trying to finish this down. Barlow is in a bad spot. Kick going to be available. That's going to be a flash kick for Maniac here, and that's going to be a nice route. Going to mean Fresh going to go down as well. So Teemo 4109.
Yeah, really good sneaky gank there by the Lee Sin, and now getting that free Gromp invading. We'll see. Hex coming in though.
Oh,
Revenge!
Predator!
Revenge!
No, that's going to be yaddy going down. One shot there.
Oh, not like this.
Be taken down. All's going to come, or Flash going to come through, but all going to be followed up, and that's going to be big flash. All going to come through as well. All going to come through to follow up. That's going to be a stun coming down. That's going to be Hecarim actually being taken down here. Shutdown for the Lee Sin, and Zephyr going to walk too far forward. Going to get the ult down. He will. That's going to be a Malphite out to follow up. A triple kill for Zephyr here. Looking for a 4th onto the arena. Knock off, not going to hit.
It's just a very tough situation to be in. Look, the most that they can do is just watch him take this Baron and with binoculars. Because what are you going to do?
Maniac has a chance to steal this though. This is definitely possible. If he can get a ward down, but no, he's actually going to get denied. They're going to go right in on him. That's going to be an ult by 2 members here. Fresh going to take one down. Sona going to go instantly down.
23 minutes, and evidence of that was shown. Just how Heck towered over him. Looking to wrap up the game here. First tower goes down, second one's going down.
Yeah, it's going to be, he's going to bring someone up and pull them back. Minion going to go back, but Sheeny actually going to pick up base here. Was able to bring it back to the fountain, but that's not going to matter.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.